If you take a close look at your hands, your forearms, or your face, you might notice a few flat, dark circles that weren't there a decade or two ago. Most of us call them age spots, liver spots, or sunspots. For years, the multi-billion-dollar skincare industry has told us that the only way to fade these spots is by purchasing expensive $200 designer creams or undergoing painful laser procedures. But from a biological standpoint, that's not entirely accurate. In fact, current dermatological research reveals that many high-end cosmetic creams simply sit on the surface of the skin without addressing the underlying cellular mechanisms that cause pigmentation in the first place. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on skin physiology and look at what laboratory studies and early clinical research say about an affordable, common kitchen ingredient that is catching the attention of dermatologists. We'll explore the real science behind how your skin produces pigment, why these spots increase after the age of 50, and how you can use evidence-based lifestyle changes and targeted topical ingredients to support a clearer, healthier complexion without spending a fortune. Before we talk about any topical ingredients, we need to understand exactly what is happening beneath the surface of your skin. A very common misconception is that age spots are just like freckles or that they're the same thing as melasma. They aren't. To understand the difference, we have to look at the structure of our skin. Freckles are typically genetic and tend to darken in the summer and fade completely in the winter. Melasma is a patchy form of pigmentation largely driven by hormonal fluctuations, often triggered by pregnancy or thyroid imbalances. Age spots, known scientifically as solar lentigines, are entirely different. They are localized areas of hyperpigmentation that develop after decades of exposure to ultraviolet light. When you turn 50, 60, or 70, your skin isn't suddenly failing you. Instead, it's expressing the cumulative impact of every sunny day, beach vacation, and afternoon drive you took in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. It's a biological ledger of your life under the sun. To truly understand an age spot, we have to look at a specific cell called a melanocyte. These cells live at the very bottom layer of your epidermis, which is the outermost layer of your skin. Think of your skin like a brick wall. The regular skin cells, called keratinocytes, are the bricks. The melanocytes sit at the base of this wall like tiny factories with long branch-like arms. The sole job of a melanocyte is to produce melanin, the natural pigment that gives your skin, hair, and eyes their color. But melanin isn't just there for aesthetics. It's actually your body's natural umbrella. When ultraviolet light hits your skin, it causes cellular damage and oxidative stress. To protect the DNA inside your skin cells from being destroyed, the melanocyte goes into overdrive, pumping out melanin to absorb the radiation. This process is controlled by a master switch inside the cell called microphthalmia-associated transcription factor, or simply MITF. When MITF receives a stress signal from UV light, it activates a crucial enzyme called tyrosinase. You can think of tyrosinase as the engine of the pigment factory. Without tyrosinase, your body cannot convert the amino acid tyrosine into melanin. Once the tyrosinase engine starts running, melanin is packaged into tiny cellular shipping containers called melanosomes. These containers travel up the long branch-like arms of the melanocyte and are delivered directly to the neighboring keratinocytes. As those skin cells mature and move upward to the surface of your skin, they carry the dark pigment with them. When this process happens evenly across your body, you get a tan. But when the process becomes broken and localized, you get an age spot. As we cross the threshold of age 50, several structural and physiological changes happen simultaneously within the skin that make age spots much more likely to appear. First, our overall number of melanocytes actually decreases by about 10 to 20% each decade. You might think fewer pigment cells would mean fewer spots, but the remaining melanocytes actually increase in size and become highly irregular in their behavior. They become hyperreactive. At the same time, the structural proteins that keep our skin firm and resilient, collagen and elastin, begin to decline. This structural breakdown reduces the skin's ability to repair itself from daily environmental insults. Furthermore, as we age, our skin's natural cellular turnover slows down significantly. In a young person, a skin cell is born, moves to the surface, and sheds off in about 28 days. In our 60s and 70s, that process can take 45 to 60 days or even longer. Because the cells aren't shedding as quickly, the dark pigment delivered by those hyperreactive melanocytes gets trapped in the upper layers of the skin for much longer periods. This creates a dense, localized accumulation of pigment that simply refuses to budge. This brings us to why so many expensive $200 cosmetic creams leave people feeling disappointed and frustrated. Most commercial anti-aging products are formulated to sit on the very surface of the skin, known as the stratum corneum. They might contain heavy moisturizers, silicones, or light reflecting particles that make your skin look plump and glowing for a few hours, giving the illusion of improvement. But they often completely fail to address the root biological mechanisms happening deep within the dermal epidermal junction. They don't slow down the tyrosinase engine, they don't calm the overactive MITF switch, and they don't neutralize the oxidative stress that keeps the pigment factory running. If a product cannot penetrate or influence these deeper cellular pathways, it cannot fundamentally fade a long-standing age spot. Let's discuss the common kitchen ingredient that has entered the scientific conversation regarding hyperpigmentation: green tea. Specifically, we are looking at the concentrated application of high-quality green tea extract or brewed green tea leaves. Now, let's be completely transparent and scientifically accurate here. Current evidence suggests that while green tea is an exceptional supportive tool, it is not a magical overnight cure, and large-scale clinical trials are still evolving. However, laboratory evidence and early dermatological research indicate that green tea contains a highly potent group of antioxidants called polyphenols, the most notable being epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG. What makes EGCG so fascinating to skin biologists is its unique relationship with the tyrosinase enzyme. Laboratory studies suggest that EGCG can actually bind to and inhibit tyrosinase activity. By temporarily gumming up the gears of this enzyme, it helps slow down the chemical reaction that turns clear amino acids into dark melanin pigment. Additionally, green tea is a powerhouse at neutralizing free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules generated by UV radiation, pollution, and normal cellular metabolism. Left unchecked, they cause severe oxidative stress, which constantly triggers the MITF switch to produce more pigment. By mopping up these free radicals, the antioxidants in green tea help quiet the cellular alarm system, telling the overactive melanocytes that the emergency is over. While green tea is a phenomenal, budget-friendly option, dermatologists often recommend combining different ingredients because hyperpigmentation is a multi-step process. If you only target one pathway, your results may be limited. That's where other well-studied, affordable ingredients come into play, each working through a distinct biological mechanism. Take vitamin C, for example. It's a powerful antioxidant that works as a tyrosinase inhibitor by interacting with copper ions at the enzyme's active site. But vitamin C is also highly unstable and can easily oxidize when exposed to air and light, meaning it requires careful packaging. Another excellent ingredient is niacinamide, which is vitamin B3. Niacinamide doesn't stop the production of melanin at all. Instead, it works a step later. Research shows that niacinamide blocks the transfer of those melanin-filled shipping containers, the melanosomes, from the melanocyte into the skin cells. It essentially stops the delivery truck at the gate. Then we have Kojic acid, a natural byproduct derived from fungi during the fermentation of certain foods like Japanese sake. Kojic acid is a well-regarded tyrosinase inhibitor that can be highly effective, but it can sometimes cause mild skin irritation or redness in individuals with highly sensitive skin. We also have tranexamic acid, an ingredient that has gained immense popularity in clinical dermatology. It works by interrupting the inflammatory pathways that link UV light exposure to the activation of melanocytes. Finally, there is curcumin, the active compound found in turmeric, another staple kitchen spice. Curcumin has been shown in early laboratory studies to downregulate the expression of the MITF gene itself, addressing the pigmentation process at its genetic starting point. However, when applied topically, raw turmeric can deeply stain the skin yellow, which is why refined colorless derivatives are typically preferred in modern skincare. Before we discuss how to build a practical routine with these ingredients, we must pause for an essential medical disclaimer. This information is purely educational and does not constitute individual medical advice. It is absolutely vital to know that not every dark spot on your skin is a harmless age spot. Persistent, changing, bleeding, painful, rapidly growing, irregular, or suspicious skin lesions should be evaluated promptly by a qualified healthcare professional, such as a dermatologist. Conditions like basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, or malignant melanoma can sometimes masquerade as benign sunspots. Furthermore, if you decide to try any new topical ingredient, including simple homebrewed green tea, always perform a patch test on a small hidden area of skin, like your inner forearm, for 24 to 48 hours to ensure you don't experience an allergic reaction or severe contact dermatitis. If you want to build an effective, evidence-based daily skincare routine to target pigmentation, you don't need a 10-step process. A streamlined morning and evening routine is more than enough. In the morning, your focus should be entirely on protection and prevention. Start by washing your face with a gentle, non-stripping cleanser. While your skin is still slightly damp, you can apply a simple topical antioxidant, such as a localized application of cooled, strongly brewed organic green tea or a budget-friendly vitamin C serum. Allow that to absorb for a minute. Next, apply a basic moisturizer to support your skin barrier. The skin barrier is the lipid-rich outer layer that keeps hydration in and irritants out. When it's compromised, chronic low-grade inflammation occurs, which triggers melanocytes to produce more pigment. The final and absolute most critical step of your morning routine is daily sunscreen. If you are trying to fade age spots without using sunscreen every single day, you are pouring water into a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom. You need a broad-spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher that protects against both UVA and UVB rays. UVB rays cause sunburns on the surface, but UVA rays penetrate deep into the dermis, driving photoaging, destroying collagen, and constantly stimulating melanin production, even on cloudy winter days or through window glass while you're driving. In the evening, your skincare goals shift from protection to repair and cellular turnover. Wash away the day's pollution, sebum, and sunscreen with your gentle cleanser. This is the perfect time to introduce an ingredient that accelerates cellular exfoliation. Over-the-counter retinoids, which are derivatives of vitamin A or gentle alpha hydroxy acids like glycolic or lactic acid, work beautifully here. By gently speeding up the rate at which your skin sheds its old, dead cells, these ingredients help lift the trapped melanin up and off the skin more rapidly. After applying your active treatment, follow up with a nourishing moisturizer containing ingredients like ceramides, fatty acids, or niacinamide to repair the skin barrier while you sleep. Once or twice a week, you can enhance this routine with a targeted weekly treatment. For example, you can create a fresh, concentrated green tea compress by steeping high-quality green tea leaves in hot water, letting it cool completely to room temperature, soaking clean cotton pads in the liquid, and resting them over areas with prominent age spots for 10 to 15 minutes. This provides a concentrated burst of EGCG and other polyphenols directly to the skin surface without any harsh additives. While topical treatments are highly valuable, real skin health is deeply interconnected with your internal physiology. What you put into your body provides the structural building blocks for the skin matrix. To combat oxidative stress from the inside out, your diet should be rich in diverse, colorful, nutrient dense foods. Consuming high protein foods is vital because your body breaks proteins down into amino acids, which are required to rebuild collagen and elastin structures. Healthy fats are equally indispensable. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in wild-caught salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds, help maintain the fluid lipid membranes of your skin cells, keeping your skin hydrated, plump, and resilient against environmental stressors. Hydration itself is fundamental. Drinking adequate water ensures that nutrients can be efficiently delivered to the dermis via microcirculation. Additionally, focus on consuming a wide array of foods rich in natural antioxidants, such as blueberries, spinach, pecans, and artichokes, which help neutralize free radicals throughout your entire system, minimizing the systemic inflammation that can exacerbate skin pigmentation. Conversely, there are several systemic habits and lifestyle factors that can severely accelerate pigmentation and undermine your hard work. One of the biggest culprits is poor blood sugar control and a diet high in refined carbohydrates and sugars. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly, it triggers a biological process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to collagen and elastin fibers. This forms advanced glycation end products, appropriately abbreviated as AGEs. These distorted proteins make the skin rigid, yellowed, and highly susceptible to UV damage and subsequent hyperpigmentation. Chronic sleep deprivation is another major factor. Sleep is when your body undergoes deep cellular repair and lowers cortisol levels. High cortisol from stress or lack of sleep drives systemic inflammation, which directly provokes melanocytes. Smoking or exposure to secondhand smoke introduces billions of free radicals directly into your bloodstream, constricting blood vessels and depriving skin tissue of oxygen and vital nutrients. Finally, a major lifestyle mistake is completely neglecting physical exercise. Regular exercise boosts blood circulation, delivering a fresh surge of oxygenated blood and nutrients to your skin while helping to flush out cellular waste products. When embarking on a natural, evidence-based skincare journey, keeping your expectations firmly grounded in reality is absolutely paramount. It is crucial to understand that age spots develop over decades, and therefore, they typically improve gradually, not overnight. Any product or ingredient that promises to completely erase 40 years of sun damage in 48 hours is simply utilizing manipulative marketing tactics. When you use scientifically backed ingredients like green tea, niacinamide, or vitamin C consistently, a realistic result looks like a gradual softening, fading, and shrinking of the spots over the course of 8, 12, or 16 weeks. The edges of the spots will often become less defined, and the overall tone of your skin will become more uniform and radiant. Success doesn't mean achieving completely flawless porcelain skin. Success means fostering healthier, more resilient skin that functions optimally at a cellular level. To recap everything we've uncovered today, age spots are not an inevitable, untreatable sign of internal decay. They are the localized result of historical UV exposure, overactive tyrosinase enzymes, and slowed cellular turnover. While expensive creams often fail to deliver on their lofty promises, you can take control of your skin health using smart, affordable strategies. By incorporating budget-friendly ingredients like green tea to inhibit pigmentation pathways, protecting your skin daily with a robust, broad-spectrum sunscreen, accelerating cell turnover with gentle evening care, and nourishing your body from the inside out with proper nutrition, hydration, and sleep, you provide your skin with everything it needs to heal and thrive. Be patient with your body, stay consistent with your routine, and remember that healthy skin is a reflection of overall wellness. Thank you so much for watching today. If you found this evidence-based breakdown helpful, please share it with a friend who appreciates real science, and let me know in the comments below what topics you'd like us to explore next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.